3, 2, and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first stream of 2024. Kicking off the new year with CIG financials for 2022. I've got to get back into the swing of things. It's been a nice little break. I needed it. Time to sit back, relax, really come together and think, what are you going to do this year? I don't know what I'm going to do this year. You know, we'll give it some thought. You know, let's wait for the stream to spool up. Also, we fixed up a couple of things in Discord, and apparently Discord should be sending out some kind of notifications to people that are in there. How do I even check that? Let me see. Blazer Prime, first bit of 2024. Thank you. London, hello. Blazer subscribed for 3 months. Thank you, sir. Was I gonna check Discord? Yeah, where is my Discord gone? Why is it not on my screen? There we go. Chrome Ninja and Nax on Discord have been redoing everything. No, those of you who have communities or have your own Discords, you know, you get spaghettified roles after a while, and we used to do it pretty often, but I think it's been at least like 2 or 3 years, at least since COVID began, that we haven't done anything about the roles and permissions. So they've been going and fixing a lot of stuff. And we have a channel now called Montoya Content, and if the bot is working correctly, it should be announcing that my stream is out, and it is. Awesome. Nax and Chrome, if you watch this, let it be known that the Montoya Content channel is working correctly, and it did send out, did automatically put the links to Twitch and YouTube correctly. Awesome. That is nice. So thank you, gents. That works. Okay, one less thing to worry about. Icaro, hola, amigo. KSS, hello. Happy New Year, guys. Chippy, hello. Stratos, hello. VT Heavy, just subscribed. Thank you, sir. Yeah, sorry, guys. If I'm being a bit rusty. Haven't streamed in a good 2 or 3 weeks. How long has it been? It's been a while. Oh, well, I've got to fire up YouTube. Let me get my YouTube chat out and going. So everyone have a good New Year. Did you guys do anything interesting? Well, I've got to fire up. Pop out chat. Bring the chat to this side because Icaro and KSS prefer going to YouTube. There we go. Okay. I think everything's up and running. Alerts are working. Notification went out in Discord. It's awesome. All right. Let's get rolling. Happy New Year. New content, the best space game ever in creation. Yes, Icaro, today's topic will be how much money has our best space game in the world made? Or rather, how much are they spending? I haven't looked through this yet. I thought we'd sit down and go through this together, or if it's even interesting. It's going to be extremely boring, I'm guessing. But I think we know already that we know it's going to be a record-breaking year based upon the funding we saw for the year already. My last off back to work for 6 days. That's good work, Chippy. I mean, Chippy, how are you going to afford to fund CIG for this next year now in 2024 if you don't go to work, right? 2024 testies. Absolutely. Chrome wants to make a jersey. We spent all morning. So the reason why I didn't stream earlier is because I got stuck in a meeting. A lot of what I do is meetings. In fact, most of what I do is meetings, and meetings about meetings, and meetings about the color of the correct shade of yellow, and the lines on a shirt. Are these lines the correct lines or not? I mean, this is the important stuff. Did anyone get the free ships from CIG over? What free ships? Was there a free ship? There was no free ship, Firebrand. What the hell are you talking about? VT Heavy, homesick, quarter live stream. Ah. VT Heavy, homesick as in sick of home? Or you want to be home? Yeah, so Icaro, you and I think the same, all right? But it's because we're old. My first thought was this logo is too big. Let's make the logo smaller. And I suggested that, like, let's bring the logo in a little bit. And Chrome was saying, no, like, you old people. Here's the thing. The older I get, the more I lean towards minimalism. You can see my hat, right? There's the old hat there. It's got the big fat logo in the middle. But I'm liking the smaller minimalism now. And so this struck me as, no, this logo is too big. Let's bring it in and tighten it up a bit. But the young guys go, no, like, this is supposed to be worn. Like, if you're on the stage or somewhere where you should be seen from a distance, the logo's got to be as visible as possible, right? You ask for a ship on Twitter and CIG gave loads out. They did? I missed that, Firebrand. Where's my free ship? Free car giveaway? What the hell are you guys going on about? So yeah, Icaro, I that's the first thing I said too. Logo too big. I mean, we're still designing. So I said bring the logo in a bit, but then also I didn't like the way these lines go outwards. So I said, can we make the lines go inwards? But then I was pointed out that no, because then this doesn't mesh with that. See, the line on this side doesn't kind of go parallel to that side. And then I said, well, how about this with chevrons on the side? And everyone thought that's okay. And then I said, how about that one? And then after about 3 hours of discussion, I think we kind of lean towards that. But maybe this and bring the logo in a little bit. What do you think? Well, yeah, that's what Chrome says. He goes, you're old. You don't understand esports jerseys. I go, no, I don't understand it. For the soccer team. Right. I don't know. I think the logo's a bit big here still, but we're getting it. In fact, that was our morning meeting. But we'll see. But that was the original kind of design. Subtlety can't be overstated. I don't know. Is it? So chat. Is Icaro just old? Is this logo too big? Should it be brought in a bit like this size? Which one? Malcari, 07. Ladies and gents, welcome. First stream of the year. A pleasure having you join me this fine morning. I'm on my second cup of coffee. Almost up morning. It's 11 a.m. already. But we're getting there. Colossal, what's up with you? Did you have a good New Year? I prefer the smaller one myself. Unsure what's the best, though. All right, so at least two of you like the smaller. Yeah, I do. I'm going to have to go against... What is Chrome? He doesn't know anything. Chrome, you don't know anything. The smaller one is better. I mean, I just find the big one, it's like it's just smacked in the middle over there, right? Smaller people... Oh, Firebrand, you're not wrong. If you are wearing a sports jacket over that, smaller, but the original lines... No, Blue Boy, you're banned. The smaller one has Iron Man Hearts vibe. Interesting. No, but you make a good point. If you're wearing a blazer, the big one hides behind your lapels. I don't know. Anyway, on to the important stuff. Not that was important, but that was important too. We'll try two variations. You know, we'll send it off to the designer and we'll get the back and we'll give you the big one and a small one, and we have to settle on one. I think it'll be good. So, thank you, Karo. I mean, I'll take full credit for everything. Obviously not. I didn't. These are my designs. Well, the bottom part. I mean, the design themselves did the collar and the shoulders. But the I kind of like the chevrons going down the sides. We'll see. So we sent this off to the designer to get his take on it, and I'll bring those back later this week. We'll take another look and see how they went. So, to business. Let's kick it off. Cloud Imperium financials for 2022. I think we know they did well. Albao and mowing the org. Thanks, Chippy. Oh, we're going to wear it there. Actually, no. I mean, I guess we got to get prepped for next year's SeasonCon, right? If there's going to be a major SeasonCon with the release of Squadron 42, getting everyone to wear some of the similar merch for some pictures is always good. We had an awesome picture from where was it? 2016? No. Where was our SeasonCon? 2016 was a big one though. But this was, I think it was the 2018. You be clown. Maya. Frisbee. Dihydra. Nubifier. You recognize these old guys? Look how young Maya used to look. You were featured in 2018. Yeah, I've got to find my 2018 album, but we had everyone in the test shirts, which was awesome. Knight Rider, you know, the deleted by Knight Rider. Russian J, well, his name's not Russian J anymore. We changed that, but yeah, we had this Munkin, Crystal, Chris. We had everyone in the shirts, and it was awesome. It was like we had a good showing there. Must have been at least 30 or 40 people from test, right? When I back this game, my size was not M. Well, Ikra, you've got a year to lose some weight before we see you next year, right? This is the custom pirate shirt for Frisbee. Back in the day where he was ready to play the game. He's AFK. I think after 2016, rightfully so. Frisbee Rocker went to the 2017 one also in Germany, I believe. But then after that, he kind of called it quits. He goes, I'm coming back when this game's actually out. So probably one of the smartest people around you, unlike us who stuck around this long. Darinator, yeah. Look at that, man. I just found these banners here. I just found them under our stairs. They've been missing. Not missing. They've been in the box for a couple of years, but good to know. We know where they are now. War and Peace, Seth. Max, Texas Skulls. Yeah, good times. Hopefully we can recreate all this. This is 2016 when we were answering the call. We all sat there pretty sure that Squadron 42 was about to be announced. We showed up and go, this is it. Like Chris Roberts going to come out and go, everyone, Squadron 42 is here. And we'd stand up and we'd go, yeah, we've waited so long. It was like 3 years. We've waited so long. This has been the longest 3 years ever. Little did we know. Ever think about putting a large test icon on the back? Boric, yeah. We did actually have a design. I think we do have a design somewhere with a small logo on the front and a big logo on the back with your name on it. We had that somewhere. Doc Flanagan, welcome. How are you? I haven't seen you all year. In fact, I haven't seen any of you guys this year. It's been a year since I've seen you. We can stretch that joke out for as long as possible. It's been a year since I've done X because it's the beginning of the year, right? Yeah, Ikora, you and all the other fat bosses in here, everyone has to go to the gym. Otherwise, actually, no one go to the gym. We all have dad bods now. We're all right. We'll just accept it. Your son will attend with you. Yeah, it's funny because some of us didn't have children when this game was announced. So, yeah, it's like a family event now. Definitely so. I've lost weight. Actually, you know what, Doc? I had a pretty rough New Year's. There was some drinking. The next day felt like garbage, and I don't know. I think I'm done drinking. It's just not worth it anymore. Like just felt like garbage. Like my stomach was not good. I couldn't put food down. Like the entire day was just terrible. And for what, I don't know. It feels like there's less and less advantages to drinking these days. VT heavy, stopped. Yeah. Drinking after 40, that's much fun. So it's not only me. It's true though, right? I mean, I used to go drinking. Look, when you're going out to the bars and clubs, some pre-drinking, couple of shots in the nightclub, it's good. But if you're not going to bars and clubs, okay, maybe we go next door to the neighbors, we have a couple of shots, but why am I drinking? Like, I'm not, the alcohol shits. Yeah, Firebrand, the whole of yesterday. No, yesterday. What day are we on? I've lost track of time. Like, today is officially like my first day of the year. January 1st was a write-off. January 2 was just recovering from January 1st. And today is like, okay, I'm alive now. So, there doesn't seem to be much benefit to drinking these days anymore. Older and wiser, but also your liver, right, Chippy? Empty space is still going on about the shirts. The chevrons are too busy. Yes. So, I mean, the chevrons go along the side, Chippy, but this design did not get much traction. So far, this one is getting more traction. So I think we'll try this one out and maybe squeeze the logo in a little bit more. That'll be the plan. Getting booze has become more of a chore. Yeah. Makes you sad. Nah, look, I think we've got some good drinking behind us. I think we've done a good job. In fact, the whole branding of Test originally was, beers, we have a beer fountain. And now I think about it, I go, no, like, it reminds me. I'm more about our Pepto-Bismol and taking out digestive enzymes as a feature of the org these days. All right? I think it's more about watching your health and drinking water and living long enough to see the game come out at this point rather than destroying your liver with alcohol. So, you know what? Yeah, I got to work on our branding. Should I change that up? I've lost the original images because, we have a couple of references to alcohol in our... Athy brought this up recently, and specifically this. This was all created before the game was out, right? So we had no idea what's what. These characters and these armor sets are not even in the game. But this can probably go. Like the drunk guy thing. Like, I don't think we want drunk guys, like belligerent drunks in our chat. In fact, we don't. There's nothing worse than trying to do some kind of mining up or some combat up and there's some guy's drunk and slurring his words and flying all over the place. I got to find the original image for this and see if I can edit this stuff out because I don't want to go and... Actually, I can Photoshop this out. But then it'll be a blank space. I'll leave a blank space and just put a question mark in it and go, like, be whatever you want to be type thing. Maybe. Here, references again. Friday Night Drunk. We haven't done Friday Night Drunk Squad. When's the last time we did a Friday? We used to. There used to be a Friday Night Drunk Squad. And then slowly, it just became, we'll do one drink. And then it's just, no, it's like Hangover Squad. Yeah, no one drinks any. Oh, we're so old. Our branding has outlasted us. Oh, what's happened? I don't know. I like it though. I think. Keep in mind, this was made like 10 years ago. Jim, forget the financials. We're talking about your health here, and your liver health. But if you're going to shift our branding away from drinking, there's a couple of things to change. drunk squad. Who's at the door? Give me a sec. Front door? For what? 1 second, guys. It's the electro company. Hang on. Is it the keys? Finally. I thought they forgot about it. Oh. How many keys did you get? Okay. No, it was the we have an electric room which nobody has a key to, so we had to call up like the local electric company that runs everything to see if they can give us a key, and that was about a month ago. So they finally go back to us now with a key. So that's a good thing. Good. This year is turning out great. Well, yeah, one of the units here wants to set up stage 2. They've got a Tesla, and they got to set up a stage 2 charger, I guess. So they need access to the electric room, which would be awesome if we had a key. So now we do. All right, so ladies and gents, let's put on our thinking hats. Let's take a look what's happening with CIG. Is the company finally going under, as was predicted? 60 days tops. Or was it 90 days tops? Athy. Oh, we're just talking about you, Athy. You missed it. We're just talking about how no one drinks anymore, so we've got to shift our branding away and change some of this. Like remove that guy. And we're not doing Friday night drunk squad anymore. Now we're doing like Friday night health drinks and fiber and fruit night. Or something to that effect. Yeah. All because of you. So, Cloud Imperium Financials 2022. Forward overall. Let's see what you got for us.
The 2022 accounting shows that Cloud Imperium grew again with total income up 30% on last year's record-breaking annual performance. The regular and improving game deliveries with increased playability and stability was a key part to our success in 2022, but unlike 2021, the performance was more consistent throughout the year.
So we know they did well this year. November, was it October, November, December? Well, October, November, gigantic months, did very well. Let's get more of the details.
Costs, including CAPEX, also increased by 29%, although excluding CAPEX, principally focused upon the new rest of world offices, trading costs rose moderately, compared to income, by 18% in 2022. Nearly all cost categories were up on the previous year, but overheads, external game development, and total operational spend in 2022, and almost 60% when factoring in the growth in external game development costs, managed mainly through the US.
All right, so from 2012, wow. If this was a public company, let me just hide the chat there for a second so you can see what I'm looking at. Oh, no, it's showing. All right. Any way you look at it, this seems like a pretty successful business model. Going off that massively OP article saying how they have the worst MMO model in gaming history. But look, there's no denying that subscriptions are solid. Other income increased. We'll have to dig into what that is. But they are doing great. As it turns out, selling internet spaceships is a good business. A very good business.
2022 continued the trend of record-breaking growth with revenue up 32% to $114 million. This was fueled by a growth in player numbers and increased player time arising from regular content delivery early in the year and improved game stability throughout the full year. Subscriptions were up 6% to $5.3 million and other income increased 21% to $11.4 million, driven in part by the growth in UK development and the associated credits arising thereof.
I'm curious to know what they spent on the offices. My concern when I saw the fancy offices they put up was, holy crap, how much is this costing? Costs increased by 80% to 116 million capital expenditure, primarily for the flagship offices. Manchester, England, the new facilities in Frankfurt, Germany. So 116 million. And people asked also, this came up when they started giving us a tour and they showed us the offices. Yeah, CIG is going under, Athy. That's it. It's 90 days tops from now. This is it. People are asking, how can they be spending all this money on these fancy offices? And basically it comes down to whatever's coming in, they got to spend because they don't want to pay taxes on it, right? Information on new offices should come in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So there's more information coming still. But so, 116 mil for capital expenditure for the flagship offices. Those look like $100 million offices. My question for that was also with the whole work from home thing. And I don't know if any of you are in a situation where you used to work in an office and now you work from home, or if you have more flexibility. We understand why they're creating pretty offices and fancy offices, but in this day and age, and this is a question for you guys who may work in IT or any kind of industry related where you don't have to go to the office, does it make a difference to you how fancy the office looks if you have the option to still work from home? Or rather, will a fancy office encourage a dev to go into the office? KSS saying, I disagree on the office concern, Monty. There's nothing better than working in a nice place. It improves productivity for sure. Well, KSS, I mean, that depends on what you're doing. No? Can you see the chat scroll? No. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't apply to all industries, but an old neighbor of mine used to work for NetApp, and he begged his boss for years to at least give him Fridays off. Right? If you want promotion of a channel viewer, what? Mods, help! Spam! So, my neighbor used to ask his boss for Fridays off. He wanted to work from home. And the boss was like, no, you got to come in. Eventually, he got Fridays off. And he was as productive on Fridays as he would be going to the office, except he wouldn't have to go sit in traffic, get to the office, go to the office and all that. He was simply able to work from home and it was fine. His work just depended on him being online and coding. And then COVID hit. And now suddenly everyone is working from home. And I asked him, I saw like 2 or 3 months in, I go, how's this working from home working out? He goes, the team is great. He goes, everyone, the Zoom meetings, they as productive as they were in the office itself. And in his particular case, which was just coding related, there wasn't a need to have face-to-face contact. Although I do understand sometimes it does benefit. But in this particular case with him, it wasn't a case. So I understand some businesses or some types of work will benefit from being in office. But if you are a texture artist, well, I guess texture. If you're the guy working on the engine and coding in the background where you don't need to be checking in with anyone, do you need to go into the office? I mean, it doesn't apply to everyone, right? But I guess for creative types, we got to bounce images and stuff back and forth between each other. It's fast to get feedback by being in the office. Yeah, Rude Boy, first stream of 24. Welcome. Should have been yesterday, but I was still recovering from the day before. So, I mean, it depends. It depends on the type of work, right? If they have free snacks and drinks, they'll be good enough for me. Yeah, I mean, that's Google's model of having the gym, the laundry, the restaurants, the masseuse, everything you need at the workplace, at the campus. I mean, I've seen examples of people living in their vans on the Google campus. They're employees of Google, but they simply live in their van because all they're going to do is sleep. And then they get out of the van, they go straight to work from the parking lot and have everything they need. And they just save a ton of money on basically renting or owning anything for the first year, which is a great idea. You want the best talent, you got to pay the best, put in the nicest environment. London, yes, you're correct. I mean, that is something which they mentioned, that if you are hiring devs from other companies or you're hiring devs from other high-tech companies, you basically got to offer an environment which is on par with what they're coming from, right? So I can understand the difficulty in that. Fancy offices facilitate object-contained streaming server meshing. The fancier the office, the better performance we get from server meshing. That's a fact, right? Yeah, look, there's no doubt offering a fancy office environment is good. If you're trying to snipe some devs from, I don't know, what other big gaming industry is there? I don't think, is there any big gaming industry in Manchester? I don't think there is even. But from a Google or an Amazon or an Apple, if you want to get a dev from any high-tech company, you got to be offering something which is on par or better with what those companies have. So for that, I understand. But as far as quality of work, in many cases, I don't think quality of work declines with working from home. I mean, there's plenty of devs which prefer to work from home, which I thought would be, it's a waste of space to make these offices the way they are. You get sexually harassed by your wife at home? Stratos, that's terrible. If you need to talk about it, we're here for you, man. Just let us know. Speak to HR. Maybe we should do that. We should have kind of an HR department for people who work from home. I think we can. So, moving on. Salaries and related on costs represent total employee costs. How many employees do you have? I'm going to bet that Reddit has summarized this for us a lot better than here. So let's jump over to the Reddit thread. Armchair accountants assemble, definitely. All right. Normal burn, insane growth. They never stop selling ships. I've never had any doubt that they would stop selling. I can't remember when, but many, many years ago, CIG had implied that they would sell ships to fund the game. Once the game was out, they would stop. I don't recall who said it or where it was said, but that didn't sound like a good business plan. If you are pulling these kind of numbers from selling internet spaceship JPEGs, you are not going to stop doing that. You will always be selling them. And as long as people are buying them, you will keep selling them. So, and I keep seeing this also, people saying CIG will stop selling ships, and the gamers are like, why? Why should they stop selling ships? It's the main source of income. And in fact, it's only getting better and people only keep buying it. So while we will be able to earn the ships in the game, I strongly suspect there'll still be a ton of people who will be happier just to pay to advance, pay to skip the grind, basically. You can grind away and get your Kraken by playing for 9 months straight, or you can cough up the $2,000 and just buy it. And that is a model I don't see going away. That'll always be there. Also, new ships. And I mean, Chris Roberts has mentioned this in the past also, that like a car manufacturer, there's the BMW 3 Series, and then there's a 5 Series, and then there'll be new models coming out. There's always going to be new models coming out. So take the Hornet, right? There's the classic Hornet now, and then there's the Mark II. I strongly believe we will see a Mark II of the F8 Lightning at some point. They go, here's the F8 Lightning, but smoother lines. They'll make some changes to it, and everyone will go and buy that chip. So that model works. There's no reason to stop doing that. It might go away when the game is released. No, Mother Nature. I'm just explaining why it won't go away. When the game is released, they'll keep on making the ships the same way they're making them now. Like the F8 Mark II. It's coming. We just called it out right now. Sketch therapy, thank you. There's going to be an updated Idris at some point. Here's the Mark II Idris. And now you can play the game for a year and grind to get it, or you can cough up $1,000, well, let's be honest, it'll be $2,000, and buy it outright. That model works. There's no reason for them. Yeah. The real angle for is licensing the engine. Yeah, so Mother Nature, I mean, they've mentioned something to the effect that if they license the engine out, then they have to provide support for it. At this point in time, I don't think CIG wants to bother giving dev hours to supporting the engine, because they're going to put dev hours into actually completing the game first. So eventually, 2, 3, 5 years down the line, maybe they'll license the engine out to other devs. But at the moment, I don't think they want to bother with providing support for that, right? Am I going to Reddit to get interpretation of the year end? Well, look, the most upvoted comments and questions will be decent. The answers, I don't know, but let's see. Cosmetic sales, yep. Cosmetic sales will also go. Expansions. Okay, they're talking about funding. Chris Roberts said in the past that all PU expansions will be free. That is true. He hates paid expansions. That is true. For big expansions, Chris Roberts said they look to build a single-player game in parallel. What? I have not heard that. But I mean, once they do have the assets out, I mean, Squadron 42, we know there'll be a sequel to that. And it's not impossible for them to say, all right, like we've done Squadron 42 and Squadron 43, let's make an unrelated game, well, in the Star Citizen universe, but on some kind of storyline, right? Can be done. Once CIG creates brought items, recovery, this will crash cow, paints, ships, arm components, weapons. Yeah, Ruboy, absolutely yes. I don't want to say pay for win weapons or pay for win armor sets, but something with improved stats, like an armor set that gives you 5% EM protection over normal armor sets. It's like a perk. If you buy it, then I mean, it's not gonna be crazy. Like, it won't make you invincible, but it'll give you a tiny advantage. I can see them selling that stuff. I can see them doing that without too much of a stretch. World War III before the game comes out. Yeah, look. You don't get to make jokes about that. That is my joke about the game being 2 years out perpetually. But for the first time since this all began, the game is 2 years out. Now, my prediction is Manchester this year. Manchester this year. They will say Squadron 42 has a hard release date of July 2025 in LA. And I assume they want to do a big launch party in LA because that's where all the Hollywood stars are going to be. And Chris Roberts wants to get Gary Oldman and Superman and Mark Strong and everyone in Hollywood to do a big release. I'm fairly certain that'll be the plan, because just the media coverage of that kind of release on its own will be worth millions. You know that all the big stations, all the big media companies, everyone's going to be covering that because all the stars are there. So I think it's going to be a ton of free press if he does it that way. Yes, Athy. Henry Cavill will be there. And you may touch him. In fact, guys, we're going to make this happen, right? Athy wants a lock of Henry Cavill's hair. So what we're going to do, it might take a couple of us, but if we can hold him down, Athy will come up to him with scissors and cut a piece of his hair. Can it be done? From his chest. Specifically chest hair, right? I know he's kind of big, so we may have to work out a bit, and we're going to need a couple of big guys. But I mean, I don't think he's going to be concerned like this crazed woman running up to him with scissors in her hand. We can make it happen. Goals. Get rid of that cash cow. That's what I said. Yeah. I think it's never as strong. If they want to aim for a pivot away from spaceship sales, they're an avenue to take and replace that revenue. They're not. They will keep on selling ships. If Squadron 4 delivers, should secure funding for the next few years on its own. Interesting comment, but how many people are on the sidelines waiting to buy Squadron 42? There's a fair amount, but I think at this point in time, majority of the people who are interested in Star Citizen already have Squadron 42 in the package, right? KSS, I mean, we got to plan this, all right? We need a few of us to distract Henry Cavill, and while he's distracted, Athy will come from behind and cut a lock of his hair. It's gonna be tough. I don't know, because he might have bodyguards also, but we'll discuss it close to the time. We'll find a way. Hey, you may do it willingly. So, Athy, you don't have Squadron 42 as part of the package? Yeah, I don't know. You know, I still feel that majority of the people who are going to come to this game are not here yet. But we all know space games are a niche. And we also saw in the last CitizenCon how Asmongold and Dr. Disrespect, who have huge followings, and when streamers like them pay attention to a game, you're going to be selling a couple million copies. So while right now there are 5 million accounts, how many of the accounts are just alts of existing people, I don't know. But let's say, I know the number's 5 million, we crossed over just over in a year, but let's say 3 million is unique. Everyone has an alt. I mean, I think I have 2 alts at this point. But even if right now there are 3 million accounts and this really takes off and they sell another 2 million, what will the game sell for? What, Squadron 42 with Star Citizen, did we say $100 or $90? 80 was like the low end. I think it's pretty fair for what they're making to be around $80, right? Would you say $80? Will 3 million people buy it at $80? $100? Okay, so can they make about 200 million? It's possible. You know, they'll make 150, 200 million on the release. But from that point on, what happens? So that's what I'm saying. Even though once they sell it, they still got to keep on selling ships.
User avatar. Level 5. Badash JL. 5 HR ago. SQ42 is not a space sim though, it's split equally between ship and on-foot gameplay, that will open it up to a ton of players who wouldn't normally be interested in just ship combat. From what they've shown, it will be competing with games like Mass Effect or COD rather than games that are just space flight.
Interesting take, but space flight is going to be a required part of Squadron 42. There will be a level of that game where you have to get into a ship, you have to fly around. Um, it's concerning to me that people who may like MMOs but aren't interested in space combat may need to understand a fair amount of space combat to get through parts of Squadron 42. I think it's a concern that they have also over at CIG on this matter. But we'll see. I mean, we just saw Starfield take a bet on that also. I thought that was a big risk that Bethesda took. Bethesda basically saying, hey, you want to play this game, you have to fly a spaceship for a while. Not only fly the spaceship, but you have to also have combat in the spaceship. And it's possibly a deterrent. But at least in Starfield, you can set the difficulty to easy and you can kind of get by it. But there is no slider in Squadron 42 that I know of to set the difficulty. So I have a concern about that. I don't know how they might do it, but take your average friend who doesn't play any kind of flight sims and sit them in the cockpit and say, go. They won't know what to do. Now, for sure, in Squadron 42, there'll be a tutorial level. We know that the old man takes you up and he goes, follow me, and then do this and go through there, and there'll be some sort of tutorial. But getting through some combat, I think, might be challenging for a lot of people. But we'll see how that works. 50 million is dedicated to marketing. That is not a high budget, Jim, for marketing. I mean, there's been game releases where marketing has made up a huge amount, if not 50% of the total budget of the game itself. The one thing which CIG has going for it, which Chris Roberts did well in doing, was getting the A-listers involved in the game, because now it markets itself. So when Gary Oldman and Mark Hamill and Henry Cavill are in a video game, there's going to be tons of outlets covering that. So the game markets itself. So he can dodge 50 million extra in marketing because of that. Yeah, there was some insane here we go. Anyway, Star Citizen at the top. Marketing costs. I don't know how they got this. What's the citation on that? How they spend 86 million? Not sure. But anyway, Cyberpunk. Check this out. This is normal, all right? 174 developed with 142 million in marketing, all right? That is massive. Call of Duty, about 50 million to develop, 150 million in marketing costs. That is pretty much expected, I think. Final Fantasy, 45 million development, up to 100 million in marketing costs. Halo 2, 40 million development, 80 million in marketing costs. It's not unusual. Look, Dead Space 2, 16 development and 60 in marketing costs. Marketing is probably the most important aspect of your game. Well, aside from making a game playable and making sure your game is good. Because you can have the most amazing game in the world, but if it's not marketed and no one knows about it, then you're not going to make any money. So unless the game is really like unique, it gets its own kind of press. But these kind of marketing budgets are not rare. It's common to see this kind of number. And again, the one benefit, the one good thing CIG has going for it is they don't have to worry too much. What is the citation here? Let me see this. The 2021 financials said you had spent 86 million in marketing. Gotta see it. I'm not sure they got that number. Like, what is the marketing? What is CIG spending marketing dollars on? Besides CitizenCon, maybe some Bar Citizens, where would they spend that kind of money? Publishing, community, and events. to 25 million. Bulk of publishing. Do they account for the staff? Biggest mistake of startups is to underestimate the marketing costs. Absolutely. I mean, if you don't get the name out there, you don't get the brand out there, you could have the best product, but you need to pay. You have to get out there. If your name doesn't get out there, then what do you have, right? YouTube ads? I don't know. The rest of the world was continue addressing growing international customers. Yeah, not exactly sure what accounts for the marketing costs there, but hey, if this is the number, then that's the number. So as of last year, 86 million was the marketing costs, I guess. I'm pretty sure they're counting the staff and salaries for that too, because CitizenCon, what's the cost of a CitizenCon? About 10, 15? What do you guys estimate that as? So anyway, yeah, marketing, massive. Cyberpunk, 142 million for marketing. I wonder if Cyberpunk could have done less. I think Cyberpunk could have easily, I don't know. I think that's a ridiculously high amount to spend on marketing. I think Cyberpunk is the kind of game which kind of sold itself. Having Idris Elba in there and John Wick in the first one, I thought would market itself. I've seen an increased number of Star Citizen YouTube ads. Yeah, but Andrew, there's no ways they spent millions on that. Yeah, so CitizenCon around 15 mil. Yeah, KSS, I would say at least. Plus, I mean, they make the money back on ship sales for that. That's fine. But I don't think they spend millions on YouTube ads. In fact, I think YouTube ads are probably useless. There's nothing worse than getting a YouTube ad for Star Citizen and telling you to come try the game out when there's some event, like a free fly event, and the servers suck. That must be terrible. Whoever clicks that ad and ends up in Star Citizen. But yeah, I'm surprised that it'll be 86 million as of 2022. Interesting. I'd be curious to dig into that and see exactly what that is. Here we go. Summary. Some juicy nuggets. Give us the juicy nugget.
The vast majority of revenues are of starter pack pledges granting access to the Star Citizen Alpha game, as well as spaceships and digital items immediately delivered and playable in the game. A significantly smaller fraction of revenues came from pledges for concept ships, which all come with an included loaner ship for immediate use and playability within Star Citizen Alpha.
Interesting. The vast majority of revenues are the starter packages, meaning new people or though you guys in here are buying yourself a second alt account. I'm surprised. But I guess it depends on the month also, because the month of October was the F8 Lightning, which was the major part of revenue for that month. But I guess overall for the entire year, it's the starter packages which brought in the money. People who are too close to the elephant think it's a rhino or a hippo. People new to the game see the big picture. What'd you call me? Yeah. Yeah, Mother Nature, same. I don't think I've ever seen a Star Citizen YouTube ad. Well, actually, I've got an ad blocker. That's probably why. But I've seen people report it. Yeah. So this is interesting there, that the majority of revenue for the year are the starter packs. So implying new arrivals to the game buying a starter pack and not pledges for concept ships. Like the new mining ship that came out, I would have thought that was a major significant contributor to the revenue. Interesting, but I mean, this is what they're saying. If you say so.
The U.S. salary costs increased by 16% despite a reduction in development headcount and a moderate increase in G&A headcount, but additions were at the opposite end of the staff seniority spectrum, with highly experienced personnel in each discipline being added to the group, and regarding development with senior experienced people often replacing the more junior roles that were vacated. Also, cost and wage inflation levels were high in both U.S. office locations, which we aimed to keep pace with.
I can believe that. Inflation has been horrendous. Those of you who have young families feel the pain every time you go grocery shopping. I still go to Costco and I look at the salmon. I'm expecting to see like $25 or $30 salmon. Up here where I am, it's $40 to $50 for that piece of salmon from Costco. And I keep looking at it and go, oh, it's not $30. And I keep on not buying it. There was a time we'd buy the salmon once a week. And I can't remember the last time I bought salmon. Inflation is a problem. So keeping in line with wage inflation, they said increased cost by 16%. Interesting point that they're hiring more experienced personnel in each discipline. Senior experienced people often replacing the more junior roles that are vacated. So I guess as a maturing company, less junior roles, more senior roles. Also people who were junior now being promoted to seniors, and they aren't bringing in new juniors. Is that it? But a 16% increase in light of inflation over the past 2-3 years, understandable, right? This is 2022, inflation rate of 10% in the UK. Ouch. Yeah, it was rough. I mean, I think prices have cooled down now, but there was a point where, you'd go to the grocery store on a Wednesday, and then you'd go there the following Wednesday, and like prices were up. And I keep on waiting. I said, okay, like salmon will come down next week. I'll buy some. And it never does. It's just, now it's $50. That's what it is. Miss Bug Smashers. Yeah, that was a good show. I don't think they'll bring it back though. He said wasn't a waste of his time, but it was basically time that he could have been working, being put into making that show instead, which was nice. I mean, I think we all learned about bugs and smashing bugs.
These costs are associated with running the game, deploying online services, and providing customer support. It also includes the costs of running our platform, publishing, data hosting, and server costs. It includes revenue collection, customer liaison costs, and the costs of our marketing and community events. This cost line correlates closely with income and user engagement, and the growth experienced in 2021 continued into 2022, rising 18% to $29.9 million.
Had the impression they're moving to more UK, but they've added key guys to US offices. Yeah, so I think the UK offices they definitely got some tax advantages or tax perks being in Manchester. So it's a good spot for the head office, but it doesn't mean they're downsizing the US, right? So it seems they're strong as ever on the US side still. Yeah, right. Trading costs. Let's see. Salaries. 56 mil. Other game dev overheads. As expected, I mean, obviously, everything rising. 116 million costs, capex investments, keeping in mind, yeah, look, that's massive. Well, 2021, not much, but total capex and investments, 129. Can you? I know I'm laughing at these numbers because 2012, 2013, we thought those were pretty impressive. Like 2014 numbers, wow, look how much money. Look where we are now. It's insane. But look, they definitely stumbled onto something good. They found a system which works, and that's...
With much still to do, Cloud Imperium pushed forward with its objectives and the commensurate growth in its cost base accordingly. Costs increased by 18% over 2021 to $116.5 million, and capital expenditure, primarily for the flagship offices in Manchester, England, and the new facilities in Frankfurt, Germany, rose to $12.9 million, compared to only $2.0 million in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
The breakdown
Don't forget
of the expenditure is commented upon in more detail
Turbulent.
below.
When was the Turbulent acquisition? It was last year, right? So that would, so how many employees are there right now? Where's that number? What's the employee count? Here we go.
Employee numbers increased by 112, 15%, to 860 worldwide by the end of 2022. The U.S. headcount increased by 16 with a continuing rise in publishing, marketing, and community staff, plus 28, surpassing the reduction in development headcount, minus 15, as the U.S. focused on certain development activities and managing more external development through Turbulent in Montreal. The rest of the world headcount grew by 96, 18%, mainly in development with a focus upon quality assurance. 10 publishing, marketing, and community roles were also added, and unsurprisingly the G&A support staff numbers increased commensurately in 2022.
They're at 1,000 right now, right? Did we not see something in 2023 saying they cracked over 1,000? Or did I imagine that? I think there should be.
By the end of the year, the rest of the world represented 73% of the global headcount, up from 70% last year, although the US now also managed over 150 dedicated people working with our internal development, publishing, and marketing teams through Turbulent.
Turbulent had 200 employees and was acquired in 2023. Right. Them acquiring Turbulent led to the sale of the F8C that they sold for the year? Possible. I mean, they did. It was a surprise. They were not supposed to sell the F8C, as far as we knew. But I don't think anyone's complaining that they did. I mean, giving us the ship to be able to fly, for those that have it already through the, what's that level? Is it Wing Commander? What's the $10,000 level in the game? So they said over 1,100 late in the report. Okay, yeah. So they're well over 1,000 employees at this point. The F8C was already in the game, was already flying. And what they said was, that some people are just hijacking and flying it. Why don't we release it to you? And look, I don't think it was a horrible idea. I think it was a surprise. We recall a lot of people are pissed off about it because how could they? They said it would not be sold, and now it's been sold. So CIG are liars. But again, they're a business, and selling the F8C brought in a massive amount of money for the month of October last year. Yeah, the F8C was already flying, and you were able to fly it if you stole it. And there were plenty of people who owned it and had one or two of them already from the $10,000 to $15,000 level of funding. So, I mean, I was not upset about it. I was okay with it. Does anyone know what Chris Roberts pockets? Ruboy, I can only imagine he must be paying himself $350 to $450, right? I don't think his salary is mentioned anywhere, nor the salaries of any of the C-suite employees they mentioned anywhere. But I don't see Chris Roberts going home with $100,000, right? What do you guys see him taking home as a salary? Will Chris Roberts take him? Well, I mean, I don't see him going home with $250. I can see him taking $300 plus at a bare minimum. I'm thinking around $400, $450 at the minimum as a salary to himself. I don't know if he would. Well, if someone here works in the gaming industry, what do your COOs and CTOs and CEOs take home? Keeping in mind this is kind of an indie development, right? Last we heard, Chris Roberts also gets paid the same as most C-suite executive. But what does that mean? Because a C-suite executive of a startup, I agree, somewhere between 300 and 500K. Yeah, 350 to 400. Yeah, Scout, you're correct, but that's what I feel. I feel 200 too low. 250, probably a bit low. 300, I understand. 350, I would say yes. 500 plus, I would say excessive. keeping in mind, like, the company cash isn't good. Elon doesn't have a lot of cash. It depreciates faster. Sketch Therapy raising a good point. Because CIG stock is not public, can Chris Roberts borrow again? He probably can. He probably does too. Right? So he can just borrow against the stock in the company and then avoid the gains, any kind of income tax on that. I'm sure he's doing that already. But we're not here to discuss Chris Roberts' tax stories. Legion, I worked at Ubisoft Montreal's mocap specialist, 81K after 11 years. Legion, you should be getting double that. Well, that sounds kind of low. I mean, Montreal is not a cheap city. I would expect it after 11 years. Oh, and it's Canadian. Oh, shit. Are you still at Ubisoft right now, Legion? Yeah, 81,000 Canadian in Montreal is, you're just getting by at that point. It doesn't sound like a... That's why Canada loses so much of its talent. Anyone who gets any kind of decent job that can transfer the States will automatically get a massive 25 to 30% bump in pay and earn US dollars by moving to the States. And depending where you live, property is probably cheaper. Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver being extremely expensive. It's always been under the other companies around, same job as doing in the US, around 50. Exactly, Legion, right. So, I mean, if you're getting paid 80,000 Canadian, you're making 150 US for doing the same job in the States, right? Yeah. If I was doing CR, I would not be paying myself that much. 350 is excessive to me and think more than 200 is... Balak, keep in mind, it really depends on where you live. I mean, you live middle of nowhere, Missouri, $200,000, you're living like a millionaire. But if you're living in... I'm sure Manchester's just as bad as other major cities. Pulling in 200,000 in LA or New York, you're scraping by. You're scraping by. Right, then there's the healthcare. But no, Scout, the bigger companies in the States will cover your healthcare. You'll not be coughing out that much. Well, you still, but it's not going to be as bad as you having to buy your own. The big companies will have their own healthcare plans included. They say the US is expensive, Canada is worse. Yeah, the standard of living in Canada is horrible. What you earn versus what it costs to live is, I think, probably the worst in the world. Actually, where did I see that? I saw this on Twitter. I don't know where it'll be now. There was something to that effect which showed... I'm expecting something to blow up. I don't want to watch strange videos. Where was it? There was a chart showing the quality of life in different cities. I don't know where it is now. But yeah, Canada was terrible. I live in San Diego. It's very expensive. Yeah. Ruboy, my condolences. But to live comfortably in San Diego, Ruboy, what do you say? 200? 250 to own a house with a front and backyard, right? And to drive a car that you bought within the last 3 years. So it really depends when you say, oh, like 400,000 is a lot. Compared to what and where? Because 400,000 living in the Bay Area, you're probably doing okay, you're middle class. Quebec province is the worst for taxes, service as well. Montreal lost 50,000 citizens throughout the city. Yeah, so Legion, I mean, I think that's to be expected. But the problem in Canada is, where do you go? Where are they going to go? To Toronto? It's as bad. So where do you go there? Winnipeg, Manitoba, Calgary? Where are you going to go, right? To the middle of the tundra? There's very limited options. That's the big problem there. So how do you direct comparison between US and other countries with healthcare and other advantages? Granted, everything's getting skewed in weird ways recently. Yeah, look, it's always an issue when you discuss living one place for another place. I know there was a big thing about everyone from California moving to Texas because there's less taxes in Texas. As it turns out, what's the deal in Texas? There's no the state income tax. There was some tax where you don't pay in Texas. But as it turns out, you pay higher taxes on other things. And I saw an analysis recently which showed that while some taxes are higher in California, in some cases, you end up paying more living in Texas. It's just different taxes. So it doesn't always work out better. Free healthcare sucks, and I'm praising I've never used it. Sketch therapy, it depends. I mean, I've lived in Canada and the States. I've seen the benefit of both systems, and I've seen the worst part of both systems. So, overall, in Canada, you will not go bankrupt. Now, there is the risk that you have long wait times. We know about that. But I can look around my neighborhood, and there's not a single person who has gone bankrupt from medical issues. When I lived in the States, different story. So there's pros and cons. And I've told the story before. My dad went for his annual physical, and the prostate numbers were high. And they said, okay, you got to go for a scan, a CT scan. Within 24 hours, he was sitting in the highest resolution CT scanning machine in Duke Medical in Raleigh, getting the scan done within 24 hours, right? That would not be possible in Canada. In Canada, they'll go, well, there's an opening in like 3 to 6 months' time. So there's pros and cons to both systems. To say one is worse or one is absolutely better is not true. Here's another example. There's an ex of mine. This is when I lived in Toronto. Her father was closing up his business for the night, whatever. He slipped down the stairs, fell down the stairs, broke his neck. From the moment the ambulance picked him up to 12 months later, coming out of the long-term care, which he went through, not a cent from his pocket, everything covered. Unfortunately, he lost his ability he became paraplegic. But from the moment he broke his neck to the moment he was wheeled out, 12 months later of all the facilities and everything, $0. In the States, you are $5 million in debt. You are not financially recovering from that ever. Like, you're done, right? So, look, there's pros and cons. Canada recommends assisted self-deletion. I saw that. I saw there's some kind of assisted self-deletion being offered. And you know what? Like, if there's people, again, there's an anecdote, I mean, personal story. It was a friend of my brother's. The grandfather was in poor health and decided, like, this is it. Like, he doesn't want to spend the last couple of years of his life withering away depending on the help of others. And I mean, he had lived a good life and he was comfortable. He goes, you know what? Like, I'm done. And he chose the time, and he over medicated on something, and that was a big shock to the family. But he basically said he didn't want to be a burden to his family, and he decided that he wants to do it. So, it's an interesting, I mean, it's not the topic of today's stream. That's another topic altogether. But if giving someone the option of them deciding when the time is right, should you say, no, you're not allowed to do that? So in Canada, apparently there's a thing where you can choose. You can go, like, I want to do this, and I don't know how exactly it works. If you need like a doctor's note saying that you're not crazy, but I don't think they recommend it to people. No one's going to come in and go, I'm very depressed, and they'll say, well, have you considered doing this? I don't think it works that way. In fact, I can investigate this man, and I guarantee he does not. I'm a vet. I hate to be a vet in Canada because I'd recommend it. Sketch therapy, I highly doubt that. I bet you that it was some kind of rumor set up on the site. I 100% say right now, with even researching it, that is not the case. I'm pretty much confident that if you are young and healthy, you cannot go and say, yeah, I would like to do this, and they will help you do that. That sounds impossible. Don't want to bet? Well, you sound very confident. But I cannot see a situation where a young, healthy person will get permission to do that. And the medical doctor's going, yeah, go right ahead. That doesn't sound right to me. My BS meter is kind of going, that kind of sounds like BS. Look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it doesn't sound like something which they would be eager to do. I don't know how we got to that topic. We're talking about Chris Roberts' salary. It's called Death Assistance. We have it here. It's a superb thing. They offer in Europe too. Okay, Legion, maybe you know more about this. Legion, if you just walk in there, if you are a young, healthy 35-year-old and go, I'm just very sad, I would like some death assistance, will the doctor go, absolutely, here's the injection? That doesn't sound... that the BS meter is just going ding, ding, ding. It doesn't sound right. And if I'm wrong, then I'll say I'm wrong. But it doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like someone read a sensationalized story somewhere. Otherwise, you'd be having a whole bunch of people going, you know what, I was playing video games today and some guy told me to do this. Now give me a pill so I can do it. Doesn't sound right. You have to be uncurable. Yeah. I mean, no, I don't feel like digging into the story right now, but Joran, new follower. After all these years we've known each other, Joran, now you chose to follow. What's up, Joran? How you doing? I really turn on Twitch. We talked about the no, Joran. If you have any interesting comments about the numbers here, please share with us. We kind of got off track. We're talking about Chris Roberts' potential salary, and from his potential salary, we start talking about whether it's better to live in California or Texas or Canada, and from there we got into a whole bunch of different fascinating topics. But let's take a look. What you got? Joran coming in with the numbers. Let's do it. Let's see what you got. All right. Community tracker of Star Citizen crowdfunding pledges. Financial reports. Oh, this is good. I've always watched me on YouTube. Yeah, I'm very popular on YouTube. I have tens of people that watch me on YouTube, Joran. But yeah, doing both YouTube and Twitch. So either or is good. Next topic. Yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on to the important stuff. I got time down to posting. Yeah, Joran, don't post me your spam, all right? So, what are we looking at, Joran? What is of particular interest to you in this document we're looking at right over here? Let me hide the chat so we can take a closer look at that. Headcount. With the acquisition of Turbulent, put them over one. Yeah, we're just talking about that earlier. How they're over 1,000 now. Surplus of 5 million, which sounds great, but typically I'm guessing they don't want a surplus because they have to pay taxes on that, right? I track monthly and annually. The costs are going up more than income, just basically breaking even. Right, so that's by design though, Joran, because if they show themselves making profit, then they got to pay taxes on that profit. If they can just break even or be in the red, then right, it's like a write-off. So if you're going to be making $10,000 profit, you go, well, I'm going to buy myself a $10,000 PC for my office and write that off because that's how taxes work. Year over year versus cost overhead. Year over year with cost overhead. Where are you looking? Bottom two left columns. Total income, total expenses. Yeah. But that's the thing. The fine balancing act they need to do is to spend as much money that is coming in. So I was pretty concerned with this year being with the Manchester office and everything. Look at massive expense. What if 2022 turned out to be a horrible year? What if they only made 70 or 80 million for the year instead of 130, but spent 130? So I'm curious to know how they, well, I'm not curious. I know what they do. They spend almost exactly what they bring in for the quarter, right? Red for the year for sure, no overall, yeah. Well, I mean, they know what they're doing. They have their accountants. Annual costs going up around 20%. 22 went up 30%. They still ahead of the costs. But 2023 income only rose around 4%. Yeah. But they'll do that every year, right? They'll happily spend more than what they bring in. The risk is that they overspend. I mean, check what they did in 2015, 2018, 2019. But I mean, they make it up. They know. They know that all they're going to do is sell like 1 or 2 big concept ships to bring the Idris back on or sell more Krakens, and they can make it up. So it's a fine balancing act, I think, in the offices there. I wonder if the new Manchester studio fall into 2022 or 23 fiscals. They'll change the number. Are the offices done? Are the Manchester offices complete? Was there an official opening? Was there anything? I don't recall. My wife and I moved out of the US because it's impossible to telecommute, still making US money, but living in... Oh, it's an old topic. How much does Chris Roberts spend on himself? About 400,000, we said. We're looking at the 2022 financials. They a year behind. 2023 is only going to come up this time next year. Yeah. Right. So Legion, I mean, the offices look complete, but was there some sort of official opening? I don't recall. Was there? Because they seem to be operational. They're open. Yeah. I mean, Disco Lando goes to the office every day, but I don't think there was some kind of official grand opening, was there? Surplus in early years, 2023 is a little concerning. I'm not worried about overall, but as a business manager, it's always my obsession to watch PL like a hawk. Yeah. Oh, definitely, Joran. I mean, my concern has always been their ability to keep on making these numbers. And every year I'm surprised. In the beginning of this year, when they were falling short, I said, yeah, this is going to be a record-breaking year. And I took so much flack. There were people on my YouTube channel saying I'm insane. I'm such a white knight. I'm such a Chris Roberts fanboy. And I said, well, look, they just need like a good October, November, and they can do it. And they did. But I say this now, and I say this every single year. I go, you can't expect every year to be a record-breaking year. And I'm a broken record because they keep on breaking every single record every time they do it. Jared said they were complete, but they never gave the tour. I think they may be taking dedicated from the office. Yeah. So I guess the offices are operational, but that doesn't mean like a grand celebration opening for some reason yet. But I guess they'll be probably coming this year. I think they're also concerned about the flack that they may get once people see how fancy the offices are. People will lose their minds that they spend too much money. If you guys don't remember, there was such drama over CIG LA office doors. So some of you may be new, but when CIG expanded to the LA offices, they built these doors, and they got so much grief for building these doors. What was the cost? It was like, what, 15, 20,000? I don't remember what it was. It wasn't crazy. 30,000. But critics of a certain community lost their minds that CIG went and spent 20,000 building these doors when they could have put in normal doors. Gregory, what's up? Happy New Year to you too. Yeah. Shempasta, welcome. Everyone's dropping in. So I think CIG is kind of concerned that once they give us a tour of the new offices, that people will lose their minds. But I mean, we know what the number is, right? They just told us, was 116 million they spent? So that's not a shocker. But I think they may be a little concerned showing us what they did. It's about the aesthetics, the anesthetic. Ruboy. Oh no, I'm out of water. Oh no. There goes all my water. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm curious to see. I want to tour of the new offices. I want to see the models they built, which they hung up on the walls. Now, Ruboy, you can't take that back. It's all about the anesthetic from this point on. Yeah. But most surprising is the number of, well, not surprising, but we know they've been aiming for 1,000 and they can't get 1,000. The number of employees that have coming in, it's a huge company. I felt CIG was pretty big, around 260, 300 members. I go, wow, 300 employees. 500 employees felt about right for what they needed, but 1,000 employees all working on designing ships. That's insane. That's insane. Can you imagine 1,000 people all designing ships? Because that's apparently all they do at CIG is design ships. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's probably a comment in here saying exactly that. Make that's got to be in there. It's got to be in there. There's got to be one comment saying all they do is make ships. I'm going to find it now. No. Ship sales. I'll be shocked if that comment is. There's always the comment in these going, all they do is design ships. I'm pretty sure if one of you guys went in there and searched for it, you'll find it. It'll be there. Trust me, it's in there. But you should all know that 1,000 employees all go in every day to design spaceships to sell you. And there's literally like 2 guys just working on server meshing. That's about it. But overall, crazy. It's crazy how this little company grew into what it is now. My biggest regret and the biggest problem I have and my biggest piece of criticism is they should have let us buy shares in this company in 2013. I don't want to give you $250 for your constellation. I want to give you $250 to buy shares in your company and come along for the ride. That would have been awesome. So I think it's great. I think it's great to see how they've evolved. I think it's incredibly frustrating that it's taking this long. But the days of being concerned that this wasn't going to amount to anything, and the days of being worried that maybe next year this isn't going to work out and funding is going to dry up, they've managed to push hard and continue a fairly impressive rate of growth. in all types of economic environments. Do you think in the future CIG would say if you don't have to get your shares? No, Shempasta, those days are gone. There were plenty of people early on who offered $15,000, $20,000, $50,000 for a share to buy into CIG. We know at least one person did was taken up on that. I think very, very early on, Chris Roberts was looking for $2 million. What was the original Kickstarter? 500,000? I don't remember. Was it 500,000? Originally, someone did get offered that, but as the Kickstarter went on, they realized that they don't need to give away any kind of shares. They can just simply sell JPEGs and people will be happy. So no, don't expect to get any shares of anything. They may be at some point, they may decide to go public. I don't know if they'll be interested in doing that. I mean, Elite Dangerous is a public company. What's the parent company name? I forget. They are public, but being public gives a whole bunch of additional problems where you now have to answer to shareholders. This is the problem that CD Projekt Red has. CD Projekt Red wants to make this game called Cyberpunk, and their shareholders are saying, you guys got to get this game out by Christmas, otherwise the stock price is going to do well, and then you're going to be in trouble. So once you are a public company, you're beholden to the shareholders, which is a problem. So the way things are working now at CIG they are making money hand over fist. They're pulling in millions. So I don't see any real incentive to offer shares or go public at this point in time. I mean, there may come a point in time where going public will get them $1 billion, $2 billion market cap maybe, and they may decide to do it, but it brings a whole set of additional problems with that. It would have become a standard company with shareholders that expect good fiscals year over year if they manage to do it by better worse than company. Right, Legion. So, yeah, once you're beholden to the whims of a board of directors who just want to see profits. Like at this point, if CIG goes, you know what, we're not selling an Idris this year for some reason and they make $80 million for the year, it doesn't destroy the company, right? Like if 2022, 2023 is the big expenditure year. They're building the offices. They buying furniture. They're buying PCs. They're buying monitors. They're buying chairs. And they're spending $120 million and all that. And next year, they don't need to raise. Well, they don't need to. They'll always try to push for as much as they can because they'll spend everything they get. Yeah. But no, like being public doesn't help them at this point. They should never go public, way too dangerous. KSS, you're absolutely right. The value of CIG is around $450 million. Nosy gamers, depending on how you are evaluating that, because well, yeah, I mean, they're not public. They're valued at what, 2-3 times earnings? 5 times earnings, maybe? But, I mean, there's no one coming in to buy. Well, you know what? If they wanted to sell shares, if they wanted to sell like 5%, 10%, they could to pull in a couple of extra million. If like to raise $100 million wouldn't be a problem for them. The valuation 2018, yeah. So it's worth more now. I mean, these kind of numbers for any kind of company is impressive. Massively impressive. Pretty crazy. They've sold a lot of shares. Well, we know they sold 40 million. They took a 40 million from the Calder family. I'm not aware of any news that they sold any shares since then. Anyone read through this report? Are there any new shareholders in this company? I don't believe there is. The sale to the Calder family for 40 million was the last share sale I heard of. I'm not sure if there's any more. At this point, CIG could absolutely sell public shares and not have a threatened overall goal. Yeah, I mean, if they're selling 5%, 10%, but again, you're still beholden to the shareholders. Even if Chris Roberts maintained himself as the major shareholder in it, you still have to answer to a board of directors. Last shares were sold in 2020. Was that to the Calder family or was that to someone else? $22.4 is going to be bigger. Yeah. So, total citizens hit 5 million on New Year's, on December 31st, I believe. So, in 3 days, they pulled in another 13,000 new accounts created. I don't know if this number means starter packages bought with an account, because anyone can go and just start an account. But still, let's say even 10% of these have starter packages. 13,000 people, let's say 10% of them bought starter packages. It's a serious number. That's not bad, right? Kemi, what's up? The Kelders, the father, son. Yeah. So the lost Kelders and another guy. So it's the Calder family and his son, because I don't know if there's anyone outside of that actually got to buy any kind of shares in that. The co-founders of Turbulent received shares this year. Yeah, but the Turbulent buyout probably included to own a share of that. So it's not that they gave them the shares. I mean, it was the buyout, right? Yeah. How was your New Year's, Kemi? Do anything interesting? Well, here we are so far for 2024. Guys, I got to tell you, this is a bad year so far. Look, they've made no money. It's not looking good. Should I let me say it again, because I say it every year. 2024 might be the year where they don't break records. And so if 2024 is the year that they don't make $117 million, it's okay. It's okay for them to only make $86 million this year. Let me just put that caveat out there. Well, how's my time off? Oh, Kemi, we at the beginning of the stream, I was discussing the ravages of old age and how drinking is no longer fun. I mean, it's fun while you're drinking, but then the whole of January 1st, I spent sitting on the toilet and recovering. The January 2nd was spent recovering from January 1st, drinking electrolytes and taking probiotics. And so today is my first normal day of the year. So we're kind of sitting back and going, you know what? I've had a good run with alcohol. Maybe it's time to put that aside now. 2024 is going to be the year of just taking care of my liver and being healthy. That's all it's going to be. Yeah. Probiotics. So, complete digestive enzymes from Test Squadron, along with probiotics. And let me see, I got a whole stash here, man. I've got the daily vitamins. It's going to be a healthy year, man. I'm going to have glowing skin. I'm going to look great. I think just to cut down on the booze, which is not easy to do. I mean, I don't drink that much as it is. KSS saying they're breaking records this year too. KSS, are you blind? Look. Look how far back this year is already. They're not going to do it. Yeah, but look, let's see if they can pull a January. Oh, you know what? What was that ship? That alien medium fighter? If we're going to see that alien medium fighter released in January, we'll do 8 million. But as 2023 showed us, I mean, 2023, they're falling short. February was short. Big March. April fell short. May fell very short. June, very short. July, I mean, it did not look like they would be making a record-breaking year. But then October came along with the F8 and go, bam, there you go, 15 million. November, we all just saw, and we know what happened there. Actually, you know what? December, that is surprising. December wasn't bad. I'm kind of surprised that December came in very close. Just 3% above the previous year. I didn't think people had it in them. I thought everyone would be spent by then. Ramoyne, Happy New Year. Welcome. May 2024 be all you expect to be? Yeah, I hope so. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We'll have a sit down and chat to see what, on the topic of what 2024 will be, I was sitting down on the toilet throughout January 1st. Oh, I got an awesome bidet from Costco, by the way. It was like $70. It's awesome. And like, where will we go in 2024 with Test Squadron, which is an org I run in the game Star Citizen, and the streaming and this content I'm doing right here. To be honest, and I've told you guys before, and those are new also, I mean, I just fired up the camera. I don't have a real plan as to what I'm supposed to be streaming. I don't watch streamers. I don't sit and watch Twitch. I don't watch people play the game. I don't watch people play games, period. I'm not interested in seeing other people play Star Citizen. But also, I'm not... I've had people say, hey, why don't you play Star Citizen more? Like, I'll play when I want to play. I wake up in the morning, and I'm more interested in sitting down, having my coffee, reading the news, seeing what's happening in the world, seeing what the hell's happening with Roblox. By the way, there was a big dump in the markets this morning. I was lying in bed. I woke up at 5 a.m. like, what's happening in the markets? Like, oh my God, look what's going on. But, I mean, that's needed. This kind of drop. Nothing goes straight up. This was needed. But crypto markets took a huge dump, which was, oh man, it's recovered already. Huh. I mean, in the time we've done this, there's been a decent recovery. There is BlackRock wants to come out. They're looking to have a Bitcoin ETF approved. So everyone who can scoff and huff and puff about crypto, BlackRock wants to have a Bitcoin ETF. And when BlackRock says, hey, we're doing this, that's serious. Now, a lot of people are saying it's going to be sell the news event. Is it going to be buy the news event? It's going to be a mix of both. But anyway, some random publication came out and said that the ETF is not going to come out. And there was a lot of leveraged longs caused a Bitcoin dump over there. But, I mean, recovered a bit now. This is what I do with my mornings, right? And so I'm not always eager to come out and play games first thing. So I'm kind of wondering, with you guys. I mean, it depends on the audience also. I mean, people come in looking for Star Citizen stuff. And like, yeah, we'll talk Star Citizen. But I am not defined by this video game. It's something I like to do. I set off in 2013 to create a little group to play a video game together, but it's not who I am, right? I'm not this video game guy who just wants to play video game. I can't do it. I can't wake up in the morning like some of these streamers just put on a video game. I have no interest in playing a video game first thing in the morning. I mean, there are times. I'm lying. When Starfield came out, I was eager to play. But, I mean, that's a full game that's out in this progression. So I do see a time, when Squadron 42 comes out, yeah, we'll be in there every single day. But for now, like, I can't wake up in the morning and just go play Star Citizen. That's not in me. $10 trillion company showing interest in Bitcoin is big. Yeah, Ruboy. So I every time I bring out crypto on this channel, someone goes, oh my God, crypto. Like, hey, listen, when BlackRock is talking about a Bitcoin ETF, it's mainstream. And BlackRock knows that there's plenty of people who don't want to touch crypto. We have to download a wallet. You have to go to Coinbase, create an account. Like, don't want that. You have a Charles Schwab account, buy through Charles Schwab. You have a JP Morgan account, JP Morgan. You have an E-Trade account, buy through E-Trade. You can buy the ETF. That's what they're going for. And it's big. Look, the entire crypto market is under, what's the market cap of BTC right now? 830 billion. Crypto is going to go for a 3 trillion market cap once this is all said and done. We're not talking now. We're talking in 2 years' time plus. It's the riskiest of assets, but BlackRock is getting in the game. And when BlackRock's in the game, it's mainstream, right? I enjoy your commentary videos on YouTube. Oh, thanks, Joran. I appreciate it. Today is Bitcoin's 15th birthday. Is it? No shit. Well, happy birthday, Bitcoin. But, yep. Interesting stuff. Just whatever you do, don't go leveraged longs. This dump here, if you understand what I'm talking about, this is leveraged longs getting stopped out. Every genius and their mother drew a line and said, I'm going to go leveraged long, and I'll set my stop at 43,000 because there's no ways it's going to drop below that. What happens is they run the stops. And this area here, it might not make sense to you now, but once you get into things and understand it, this is leveraged longs getting cleaned out. So whatever you do, careful your longs with leverage. Crypto loves to do this stuff to you. And the reason I watch Roblox all the time is my kids. I am. What's my Roblox? My kids play that game nonstop. And every month I give them their stipend in Robux, which is the in-game currency. And so if I am funding Roblox to this extent, how's this company doing? I'm very, very, well, this is the range I've got marked out. Next break above 50. I'm interested to see where this goes because I fund this company every month. Not by buying the shares, by buying the in-game currency. Your 5-year-old wants to play Roblox so bad. Athy, let them. Roblox is made for kids. My kids have been playing since they could sit up on their iPads. They've been playing it for years. They've made tons of friends on it. I'm assuming their friends are their age. But it is. It's a lot of fun. Don't be one of those parents which deny your kids Roblox and then all these friends play Roblox and they don't. And then they're the losers. Legion, thanks for dropping by. Good seeing you. We'll see you tomorrow. But, 12:30. Oh, my God. That's why my stomach's rumbling. It is my lunchtime. But how do we get on that topic? Yeah, I was talking about the plan for the stream. So, look. I'm kind of finding my footing when it comes to the stream. And, I mean, I understand you got to find your audience also. There's people who drop in and they go, oh, he's not playing, so I'm not going to watch. But then there's people like Ruboy here and Athy. Well, Athy has to watch because she's a staff member in my guild. And so if she doesn't watch, then, you're going to get in trouble. But I don't know. I got to kind of find my groove when it comes to streaming here. You stream what you like. Right, so Kemi, I mean, what I like isn't necessarily what most people want to see. But at the same time, I don't want to feel like I'm forced to sit down and play the game in the morning if I don't feel like playing the game that morning, right? Geronimo, what's up? So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I've enjoyed the morning streams. I like getting up in the morning, just having my coffee, maybe having some breakfast, going through the news of the day. And if there's something, if there's a new patch or there's a new ship, like I'm all for going in. But until we actually get progression in the game or until Squadron 42 comes out, I don't feel a big urge to jump and play Star Citizen. I'm not interested in watching other people play either. What is this funding page? This is called ccugame.app. Excuse me. How does a site have CIG financial data? This site? They don't have the financial data. I mean, they're just pulling the stats off the front page of CIG, I believe, or the API. But we'll click a button. What does this button do? No, I mean they're extrapolating the data from this. They don't have any special access to anything else. Yeah. So anyway, that's where we stand. But yeah, guys, give me your feedback also. Not you, Joran. I don't trust your feedback. No, I do. But I've enjoyed the morning streams. I'm just kind of thinking, what is it that I can do, or we can do, that is of interest? Because I don't necessarily think me playing Star Citizen is very interesting. I don't find myself to be an entertaining streamer. Depends. Maybe if I start drinking. Yep. Concierge Lounge. Yeah, what is up with the concierge in Star Citizen these days? I haven't visited. I don't want to say early. I must have been one of the first 200 or 300 people in the concierge lounge when they opened it up. Day drinking stream. No. My liver's not going to last, Athy. Plus, I get wicked heartburn from drinking now. So I just don't see the pros do not outweigh the cons of drinking these days. It's pretty active. Yeah, concierge used to be fancy. What was her name? There was a CIG employee that we all knew. And like whatever you needed, she would take care of you in concierge. This is before they had any buybacks or stuff, but there was I melted a game package or something and I said, hey, can I have this back? And within 20 minutes, she reactivated it back in my account. She goes, here you go. It was great. But I mean, that was back when there were like 200 or 300 people in the concierge. These days, it's, I mean, not that special anymore, right? I came into concierge and that was a surprise. I'm still wondering, is all down to the amount of money I've spent. Yeah, Ramoyne, when you spent over 1,000, you were shocked? Was her husband the dev as well? Cammy, was it? She was married to someone, and they both left. I forget her name. But there was a time where concierge was a special thing. No, not Lesnick, no. Put down the bottle, pick up. I don't smoke, Ruboy. I can't do tobacco. I can't do any kind of smoke. I just cough my lungs out. Guess it's a good thing. Yeah, concierge isn't special anymore, guys. I'm sorry, inflation, like $1,000. Yes, the blonde. Exactly, Kimmy. You know who I'm talking about. Like whatever you needed, like she was the. I was gonna say the man. She was the lady. Take care of you. She worked with Ben's wife. Exactly. Right. But like the weirdest things I needed, I go, hey, like I melted this package, but I want this package, but I want to keep that package too. Can I have that one back, but not that one? Like, yep, here you go. Like whatever you needed. Yeah. Ramon, you wouldn't get concierge if you didn't spend $1,000. So are you sure? Make sure it's not your monthly. Do you have the monthly subscription? That counts. They have vapor and chewables. Rubo, I don't know. Do I need it? You know what? Maybe I'll just get like caffeine, powdered caffeine or something. I'm not sure if I want to go down to the chewables already because next to my gym, there's actually a marijuana store. It's all legal here. And I walked in to check it out. And there's some really good looking stuff. Like there's the brownies and all these different chocolates and gummies. But I can't say I'm too much of a connoisseur. I don't understand what Invicta versus something else is. I don't pretend to understand it. But I don't want to start with that either. Because what if I like it? I don't want to go down that way. FN1980, welcome. New follower. Get snooze. It's like snoo. What's that? I would pay him. Yeah. I don't know if I want to go down that path. I mean, honestly, I thought I'd see a lot more people doing marijuana now that it's legal, but I don't see it. Maybe just in my circles. But Indica versus Sativa, yeah, I don't know enough to know the difference. But I don't want to buy myself some brownie and go, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever had, and then find myself something new. Because if I like it too much, then it's going to be a problem for my figure, my beautiful figure. Snooze? Snus? How am I pronouncing that? Snus is chewing tobacco. Oh, what's that? What's that other tobacco that's going around now? Anyone in the military? What's the one which you put down in front of your gums? Something with a T. Begins with a T. Oh, welcome to the marijuana part of the stream. By the way, we would not endorse or promote any of that if it's not legal in your state or country. But no, it's not chewing tobacco, Athy. It's a pouch, and you put it between your gums. Not snuff. Begins with letter T. God, you people know nothing. It's not a chew. It's in a bag. Oh, I thought you guys in the military would be all over this. Let me see. Standby. It's called. Where did I see it? Apparently, it's not a big problem in the military right now, but it's in the bag, yeah. So in places where you can't smoke the tobacco, where did I see it? I can't find it. Wait. I got it. Stand by. Oh, it's not a T at all. I was going to say tin. It's Zin. No, that's not it either. Is it tobacco? That's this. Nicotine pouches. That. Apparently this is a big thing now in the military. Right? So where places where you can't smoke, or you can't be, that is snus? What the hell is snus? Is this it? Or is this a brand? I guess the brand is called Zin, right? Noob, what's up? Actually, Noobify was in the military. Noob, do your guys put tobacco pouches in their mouths? Is this a thing? Ramoin, that's why I told you. That's why you congratulations, welcome to Concierge, because what you spend on subscriptions pushed you over the edge. The implied nudity. Yes. Yeah, Noob, I was, well, as of, was it today? The implied nudity has been changed, by the way. Speaking of, check this out. What kind of rich prick you gotta be to have this kind of setup? You know, it's been interesting watching Noobify evolve over the years. He spent quite a bit of time renovating his basement, where he started reflooring and goes, I'm going to change this basement into a streaming kind of place. And he floored it, and he goes, he's going to set up his PC behind you. And it was interesting to watch him just go through the process. And slowly, it turned into what you see here. And I can only say that we're all disgusted by the opulence of what this has become. No, it's awesome, Noob. I'm extremely jealous of where this has led to, but also extremely happy to see you've achieved what you have here with it. I believe you're a spokesman for this company, or you represent them, the guys who make this platform, right? But it's been very interesting watching this grow and develop, and I would be all over the setup. I have no space. I mean, I kind of work and play from the same area. I cannot stick it up there. Like, there's no ways in hell I'd be able to fit that anywhere in my house, which is tiny. But if you have the space and you have the means, and I believe you do operate internationally, give Noobify a call. He'll set you up. You bought so much they made you a part. Basically, Noobify spent so much money that they gave him shares in the company. No, that's awesome, man. It's I guess if I if I hit the lottery and get like 50 million and be able to buy a house with a lawn and more room, then I'm giving you a call right away, right? We'll do it. But yeah, also my wife's friend is in Ottawa, so maybe we'll make a visit there one day. We have to get that done. But yeah, awesome setup, Riggs. Nobody does it better. But, well, yeah, I was distracted. So, Twitch. No more implied nudity. Unfortunately. Does that mean our favorite girls are now hidden? Oh, yoga pants. Chat's covering it. There she is. I knew we'd find yoga pants in there somewhere. Well, sorry guys, no more implied nudity on Twitch anymore. Unless you want to watch what Mira's doing. They'll find a way. No, it's interesting. It all began with Morgpie getting banned for implied nudity, and then she got let back on, and then it said implied nudity is fine, and then you had guys basically just wearing a Speedo, but with a black bar on the screen implying they were naked. And so the second you have some disgusting, hairy guy sitting there implied nudity, they go, well, that's disgusting. We can't allow that. So now there's a rule of no implied nudity. I love it. Twitch is so interesting. I've not cared much for Twitch culture. I don't care much about it. But since I've started streaming more actively, it's become interesting. I get it now. I don't know about the guys. Ruboy, don't you also watch men on Twitch? Am I the only one? There were at least 2 or 3 different... Oh, there was also an Asian guy who got himself a fake... It's like gigantic breasts, but fake ones. It looks like it's real. And he put it on, and he did like the implied nudity of that. And people were like, okay, that's just taking it too far. So they ruined it for us because Noobify wanted to jump on the meta also. I know he did. You know, I mean, he's still in pretty good shape for a man his age. How old are you now, Noob? Like 41, 42? I mean, Noobify was old when I met him back in 2016. Oh, hang on. We just had that. Not that. Noobify, hang on. I've got something for you. You want to see something? Huh? We were just reminiscing about the past. Who's that? Who's that handsome, thin fellow over there? Look at the hair on this guy. You and me both. We're the same age. I hope you're getting as ugly as me, though. I don't like to feel like I'm aging alone. And I'm in the bathroom yesterday. And I'm looking at my face and I'm asking my like, what is it? Like, why is there a darker patch of skin here? My wife is like, oh, those are age spots. I go, what the fuck? What the hell's an age spot? She goes, like sun damage. I'm like, oh shit, like all those years of being in the sun and I'm paying for it now. So I gotta start using like face creams and crap, apparently. Next thing you know, hey, Noobify, you wanna get Botox this year? Should we go together? Get some Botox? Yeah. I think that'll be some entertaining streaming. Live Botox, Noobify, and Montoya. Yes, that's where we're going. Wear sunscreen. Right, so I mean, I take care of my skin now, but I never gave a shit about my skin in my 20s or 30s. Like, I didn't care. Sun, no sun, whatever. No moisturizers, but now I moisturize every night. Fake lashes, Botox, there's the work to be done. Yeah. Welcome to the 50s soon. Yeah, not yet, man. So far, late 40s have been all right. I think I'm doing pretty good. Late 40s have been okay. I'd say I've had the benefit of always being active and physically active, so there hasn't been much of a physical change. I'm not as strong as I used to be, but so far it's all right. The 50s concern me. We'll see. Butt lift? No. Korgax? 54? Athy, hitting the 40s. Oh my God. Athy, you look great, by the way. Little Boots, 50. Damn. You know what? I feel better now. I feel better now talking about things like the 10-year yield. All right? All of you in your 40s and 50s, this is important. Look what yields have done. Isn't that great? So if you've got an adjustable mortgage, okay, that run is done. This is looking way better now. 53 and feeling arthritis, 66. Oh, God. Well, this chat is old. Okay, I feel all right talking about these important economic shit now. Now, look. Inflation is under control. The Fed has indicated that there's cuts coming possibly. So are adjustable rates back on the table? This is shit I like to talk about. Huh? Joran is 53. Joran, you look awesome, man. I wouldn't have given you over 45, but now we know. Yeah. Feel better talking about Aspir cream? What's Aspir cream? Do I even look it up? Yeah, Joran does look young. Joran, where do you live? You're not in the States, are you? Yeah, VRL. You get off my lawn. I was just talking with I don't know if you guys. Oh wait, he's in this picture. Is he? No, I was just talking yesterday with this guy. He was finishing high school when Star Citizen kicked off, and I was catching up with him yesterday, and he's gone through several jobs, law related, Amazon, now airline related, bought a house with his wife, and like we're catching up going, wow, man, like what a fascinating time these past 10 years have been that we've shared this kind of growth together. I was 15 when Star Citizen kicked off. Yeah, I was in my mid-30s when this all kicked off. Funny. But it's been a fascinating journey. Yeah. Well, okay, you old farts. This has been awesome. But 1 o'clock, I got to take my old man medications. By that I mean lunch. We're making delicious... Oh, we've got banh mi. My wife bought the sandwiches. We've got the bread. And I've got some pulled pork. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to toast the sandwich. I've got some pate. We need cilantro. I'm going to lay down the meat, put mayo on it. This is going to be my lunch. It's going to be delicious. Should I stream myself eating my lunch in front of you? Actually, we don't have cilantro. I'm screwed. But we have everything else. So if you have not, you uncultured swines out there, find a place which has banh mi. All right? The sandwiches are awesome. It's a delicious crispy French bread. They'll have either chicken or beef or pork. And you will not regret it. The first time I had this, the first time my wife took me to have a sandwich like this, I said, why have you not told me? Like, we were dating for like 5 years. Go, how come I've not had this in my life? Athy, my rabbi says pulled pork is fine. It's kosher. I'll bless it before I eat it. Yeah, stream lunch in 8K. Hey, if that's the content you guys want to see, we can. Let's see. I can't believe they removed the implied nudity. Oh, what the hell are we going to watch now? Slim pickings. I don't know. But while I'm on you guys, let's take a break for lunch. But thank you very much for joining me this morning. It's been great. Joran, nice seeing you. Kemi, Nubifier, all the big names dropping in. Happy New Year, guys. Looking forward to a wonderful 2024 with you all. 2024 is going to be the year we focus on our health to stay alive for 5 more years until Squadron 42 comes out. We can do it. We've been going this long. We can do it a bit more. Melcari, Ruboy, Shempasta, correct. Citizen Ninja, Shempasta again. Happy New Year, Joran. Thank you. But Humphreys, Athy. Well, Athy, you don't have to say goodbye to me because I'll see you in Discord in a second. Base building. You know what, Kemi? When I said I don't have an urge to play Star Citizen much, I take it back. When base building comes out, I will be in there every single day building my base. That's as long as there's some kind of progression there, right? Bonsai, yes. VRL, Lord Cat, FN 1980, new guy by the way, welcome. Thank you, KSS. First stream of 2024, I think it went rather smooth, getting my legs back, recovering. But as always, let me toss you over to a Star Citizen streamer who could use a bit of viewership. Let's see who's on right now. I would say, let's go to. I don't recognize. Oh my God, there was a time where I recognized everyone's names. I don't recognize anyone's names anymore. Let's see. Anyone? Do you guys recognize anyone in here? Don't know what that is. These VR tubers getting bigger. I've seen more and more of them show up. Wow. I don't recognize any of these names. Ark. Yeah, you know what? Let me drop you off to Ark. He does some good videos. I know he gets harassed sometimes. Is he on? He is. All right, guys. I'm going to drop to Ark. He's a wonderful British lad. He'll appreciate the greetings. Tell him Montoya says hello. /raid Ark VR. There you go. I'll catch you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Thanks for dropping by. And Happy New Year. Should we play the game tomorrow? Maybe we should. Actually, you know what? I haven't logged in all year. Maybe we'll do that. But thanks for joining me, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Off you go. I'll see you later. Take care. Vertice, what's up? You missed everything. I feel like yesterday's garbage. It's because you're late. Bonsai, catch you later too. Good seeing you guys. Catch you in a bit.